Good morning, everybody.
Hola.
Frank.
Yes, sir.
I'm on fire.
It's time to call the Fire Force, baby.
Hey, yeah. Fire Force is back.
Season 3.
Before we start with this review of Season 3, Episode 1, make sure to subscribe and enjoy this episode of the AniBros.
Liked it up. Thank you.
Yeah, my butt is itchy. All right, let's go.
It's been 3 years, you said? Two something?
I think it's been like a good 2 or 3 years since the last season of Fire Force.
Season 2, yeah.
Because Funimation still was alive and beating.
Don't tell me.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Funimation.
Before the Sony overlords took over anime.
Yeah, before they monopolized it.
Yeah, you're right. I remember kind of like still being in like the vibe of watching animes back then.
Yeah.
We had more time back then.
Yeah, we had more time.
And this thing kind of building up, and it just being a cool thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't really feel like a lot of people were into it.
Yeah,
now, Season 3 feels a lot bigger for some reason.
Yeah. That's what I noticed going into Season 3. Disclaimer, man. I'm still trying to catch up on the whole 2 seasons. I'm like at the ending of Season 1, starting Season 2 right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does feel like the first 2 seasons, people kind of brushed it off. And now that it's back and it's in a completely different era too, it feels like a lot of people have been waiting for Season 3 of Fire Force. It's almost like comfortable from what I felt, right? Like it's like comfortable, like that it's coming back. It's something that you recognize.
Or the hype too.
Yeah, and the hype.
Building up.
It's something familiar, is what I'm trying to say.
I think maybe like what you've been talking about too is that the first 2 seasons were more of a world building.
Yeah.
And then, so it was cool. I liked it and I really enjoyed the characters, but there wasn't anything too like bombastic to be like, yo, this is the anime of the year. But I really enjoyed it. So now I think we're getting into that next arc. Yeah. And if we want to go super further than that, I think people who know what happens towards the end want to see the build up from here. Yeah,
this is... You put it perfectly, man. World building on Season 1 and 2. The Season 3 is the fucking explosion, man. Like, I feel like that's gonna be the bombastic, like,
I hope so, yeah.
Season.
The climax, as they would call it in the narrative space. But I kind of feel like they would have 2 more seasons to go.
Yeah.
But I do hope that this season doesn't overstay its welcome. Like, it's good, it's interesting, and we want to hit it, and we want to have a good time. Yeah.
Real quick, before we start on that review, right, of the first episode of Season 3, I did hear that this is the last season of Fire Force. It's very heavily compressed compared to the manga. So it's going to be very compressed. So it has to be quick. Like, these episodes are going to be speedy. Yeah.
Do you think that's because it's David Production being like, oh, we got JoJo money, guys. We got to hurry up.
I feel like they think, or it's just too long I don't know, because like the season gaps between Fire Force 1, 2, and 3, they're so big, and I think they just want to like
just get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way.
As long as it's animated and people are okay with it, like not too rushed or whatever, I think we'll be in a good space.
Yeah. All right. Let's get started.
Ready.
Yeah. So we're back in the world of Fire Force.
We got some weird people doing weird things in the altars.
And we got like basically another reintroduction to the characters, like their abilities, their training.
It's very good.
You know, it's very good, very cool.
A couple of names, Vulcan was like one. It's like, oh yeah, his name is Vulcan. So it's nice seeing that kind of pop up and seeing what their abilities were and what they have.
Yeah. So you see Shinra and Arthur training. You see the buff girl and the cat girl.
She's pretty cool. Yeah. And
you see the nun girl and the scientist. So you're all getting a proper introduction to everybody again.
La Familia.
Yeah.
Family done.
Family being firefighters.
They're talking to the captain of the Fire Force, the Squad 7, right? There's
Obi,
7 or 6. And it's getting a little weird because things are feeling tense. And then out of nowhere, the people we've been trying to fight this whole time. Yeah. It's getting hard to say this in this generation, but the White Clan.
Yeah, the Clads.
The Clads, yeah, they're out there and they've been plotting, and now they are in the government. Yeah, they forced themselves in. Essentially, the Fire Force is part of the government, and then the army is here with that clan to be like, you're coming with us. And so that's very interesting place to start, because I don't think I even imagined that just right off the bat, these guys are going to be like, whoa, we're the bad guys now.
Yeah,
So,
like we're here.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so the Obi, I think his name is Obi, the captain. He gets surprised when they come in, and then they have to arrest them.
Yes.
They're like, "You're coming with me, Papi." And
Even the
like,
branch leader that he was reporting to is like, yo, what's going on?
What's going on,
this
man?
is above his
Yeah.
pay grade. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, man. So we get a mixture of good and bad. Like they're uniting. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the yin yang is becoming the ultimate yang. I don't know.
So we're flashing between how this team is taking in, how the other leaders, the pillars, are kind of like plotting their stuff, like gathering together, and how Shinra and the group is kind of like training to get their stance and all that.
Oh yeah.
We flash over to the ultimate cool dude that was your favorite guy, the fire guy, and how it's not just Captain Obi and the squad of them, but it's like a whole operation.
It's the whole thing.
Where even like the #1 captain is being held for questioning.
Yeah.
So this is big. It's happening.
It's happening.
It's a little too real.
It's a little real. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
No, go for it.
But like Daredevil and this now, I kind of appreciate that it's being put out there.
Yeah, you're right, because a lot of shit is getting taken over by like shady people, and in the anime it's the same thing too. It's like a reflection almost.
Yeah.
And so they're basically they kidnap Obi because they want to drag out Shinra, or they're trying to lure Shinra out. Yeah, because apparently, like, I'm still not done with season 2. He's like a pillar or something like that, right?
Shinra is essentially what we boiled it down to. The Fire Force, or the Force, like the Jedis. He's one of the people who kind of taps into that potential. And the Pillar group, aka the White Clan, needs him to help them all connect together to bring about basically the what was it called? The apocalypse.
Oh yeah, the Soul God.
So it's getting real out there.
They're trying to plot like to burn the whole place down, and like they need a unify because they all believe in the same God or something like that. And
if they bring all the Force users together, then they can bring upon the end of the world, aka apocalypse. And as they're presenting their case to the head honcho captain,
the Macho Man,
Eye Patch, bro.
Yeah.
He's so cool. He goes flame on and he goes on fire.
The Human Torch.
The Human Torch.
Yeah.
I expect him to just start flying and be like, "Whoa, was that invisible?"
Yeah. So the lady, the one with the crown on her head that could use like mind powers, she basically like taps into his beliefs and makes them. Technically, he makes them switch religion. Because like the way like that like.
Same religion.
Yeah, same religion, just a different view, you know?
It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's really
so crazy.
It's really random. Like we're talking about anime here and like firefighters, and it's just like a religious like argument now.
But it parallels to everything that we've known and believed in.
Yeah.
So, it's just the idea that her power, because officially she starts off crazy, she adjusts her mind to be serious, which is interesting, and then she can read people's not minds, but like their emotional outburst. So she's while talking to the captain, she's understanding what is pissing him off. Yeah. And she's using that to change her conversation to fit his needs. And we'll talk about it later, I guess. But I mean, at the end of the run, Captain becomes a believer, man. Yeah,
he becomes.
He takes a knee.
Yeah, he takes the knee. He takes the knee and he goes on the side of the girl, of the crazy girl. Yeah. Right. And now we're like saying that like Company 8 is saying that like, oh, they kidnap our captain. Yeah. And like the other dude, the guy with the glasses, like I forgot his name, but he's all like, look, we're gonna go rescue the captain because he's familia.
We have to go get him.
Yeah, he's family. Vin Diesel would be proud. And he tells everybody, once you take the step with me, you guys are becoming traitors. So it's up to you. Okay. Yeah.
Enemies of the state, essentially.
Enemies of the state. And
pretty cool.
Arthur's just like, hey man, I'll happily give Shinra back if like it means getting our captain back.
For sure, yeah. 'Cause that is the deal. They want Shinra, but they for the captain, and then because they're all familia, Shinra's like, yo, I'm kind of down, but the second lieutenant goes like, no, our thing is that we don't give lives for lives. That's something from Captain America. And
Capitan Murica.
But if we're gonna do this, you know, we go through the whole cast, and it's like you can go home if you want. Right?
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, no, we familia.
We're family here.
So good.
They all tag along, which is cool.
Pretty cool.
Even what's her face? The one that looks like Maka. She's all like, "Well, I'll be labeled a traitor, but it's all family."
Oh yeah, because she actually leaves her money family for these people.
Yeah,
it's funny.
And you know, all this talk about like the way it's setting up like this episode, which it's getting deeper. Yeah. It's weird. When I first saw this episode of Fire Force, I'm like, it's an anime episode. And the more I think about it, the deeper it gets, because there's a lot of religion aspects to it, changing religion, like all this and all that, like betraying people and all that. Yeah. And you know why it feels uneasy to me right now that I'm thinking about like the lore of Fire Force?
It's too real, dog.
It's too real, right? But it is also mentioned right at the beginning of this episode. But I'm gonna lay it out right here. The world of Fire Force is slowly descending into madness on purpose, because the lady says, "Oh, like." It's the little god figure thing that like in the beginning when the moon pops up and then that thing pops up, like I'm assuming that's the soul god or whatever.
Yeah, that's like the thing they're praying to.
Yeah, that's the thing they're praying to. God, yeah, the soul god. And he says like something. She mentions that like though like he's madness or something like that, right? Or like gives a quote like that. So all of this, like the whole world of Fire Force is going into madness. Yeah. That's what happens in Soul Eater. Like when the Kishin gets revived, the world gets into madness. And that's the same thing that Fire Force is doing right now. It's throwing the world into madness. Just with less of a cartoony feel to it and more of a actual sense of dread and stuff. Because Soul Eater was like visually represented madness because you saw it in the sky and all that.
Yeah, it's all dark and stuff.
This, you sense it through the characters, what I feel. What I've been feeling for this episode right now.
When they go full infernal, that's like their madness fully formed. And I think, because we're officially going into it, that this universe will eventually become Soul Eater's universe.
Yeah.
So again, that's what we were saying earlier, that people might be super interested about this season because we're getting the final connection to Soul Eater, which I get hyped about, which I know we saw it in like middle school, high school.
Yeah, middle school.
YouTube part 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, the old school YouTube.
Yeah, a real old YouTube.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing that happen. There's a lot of parallels to that. Also, one way to think about it is that it's funny because like we're used to Soul Eater.
Yeah.
So we want Soul Eater to an extent.
Yeah.
But obviously this universe and this character is like, no, that means the end of our universe.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird of like, we're either going back to what we always were or just trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So like, it's like we want Soul Eater, right? But that means that in order to get Soul Eater, it's the destruction of the Fire Force world. Yeah.
And so,
it's crazy. And
are we the bad guys?
Yeah. And like you that was a good point, man. In order for the Soul Eater world to come about, like the end of that world has to happen, right? Yeah. Which is scary. But it is what it is. This episode is actually very heavy on setting everything up like that. I liked it. Now that we're talking about it, because this is our first time talking about it, it's intense. And the way it leaves off is that they're what's it called? The captain turns with the evil mind reading lady because of the images that he's seen through her and stuff, and like the explanation.
That's a question that I had. I think if we're getting super theoretical, is that you see the electricity pop up from her head when she shows him the image of Soul. Yeah, and that's why he takes a knee. Yeah, but somehow, and maybe I'm just giving him the superior old man OP credit. I feel like that because while they were doing the interrogation with each other, I saw one emotion that said suspicion.
Oh yeah.
And then like acknowledgement. Yeah. Which I feel like he understood what she was doing. Yeah. So he's just playing along now.
Oh.
Because at the end of the episode, the final shtick is that she brings him into the room, the chamber, and all the pillar people basically have like the nasty bug thing. Yeah. That makes them into infernals. Yeah. So she's gonna make him an infernal in hopes that he becomes a pillar or something like that. It's complicated.
And they're also gonna, like, the way the episode leaves off is that they're gonna infect the captain leader, Obi, with one of those bugs.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's gonna get intense. And something that you pointed out, this is for you animation fans out there. Yeah. You said that the world of Fire Force in this season specifically looks more like modern,
yes,
more built, realistic. Like more regular, more real life, right?
Because in the previous seasons, we were more focused on the headquarters and the capital.
Yeah.
Here we're getting a wider view of what the city kind of is like, and it feels more. It almost feels like
modern, like right now. Yeah. So that's something that I think is gonna play along with it because when the moon turns into the Soul Eater moon at the end of season 2.
Yep.
And then we kick off season 3, right? And everything looks modern, right?
Yeah, little glitches.
I feel that's what I'm saying for you animation fans. I feel like that's on purpose because as the season 3 is gonna come to a climax, I feel like the world itself is gonna start morphing, changing art styles, and I feel like they're really gonna lean into the art styles, like into like more Soul Eater art style, like goofiness.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to make it very obvious that this is a different world.
Yeah.
And I think with the beauty of this 2 series that they have a completely different look to them, so it's very easy to go night and day.
Yeah. So this anime, I feel like, well, hopefully, because I don't want to get overexcited like I did with Sakamoto Days and fucking disappointment.
Go watch our first episode. We were pretty excited.
So that's funny, yeah. Like as you see the first review of Sakamoto Days and then the last one, we're like, oh, it's over, thank God.
So this is a therapeutical show. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like this is gonna be an intense season, and I really can't wait. That's basically this is basically it for the episode. Nothing really happens crazy other than the heavy plot points, right?
Character reintroductions, plot points, and moving stuff forward.
Yeah. So this is what this first episode had to do because it's been such a long break. And then, so they have to do all that heavy lifting in the first episode. And then we'll see where it goes from here into episode 2.
As far as I would assume if this happens, the first fight would be with the OB guy, and we'll see how the animation and how intense the scale of explosions are.
So. We'll see how it gets. Keep in mind, me and him, like we haven't read the manga. We're going off of anime base.
Yeah.
So.
That's good.
So that's what we're assuming that is happening in the world of Fire Force. They're making the buildings, everything look on purpose, like very detailed. So when the climax comes, it transforms into Soul Eater.
Into Halloween Town, Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's go. Yeah.
Man, but other than that, episode 1 out of Fire Force, I give it like a 4 out of 5, maybe 5 out of 5. But like the thing is that I haven't really caught up to season 2, so I can't give it like a proper rating. What about you?
4, maybe like a 3.5 to a 4, just because it did exactly what it needed to do to reset the stage. And it looked damn good while doing it. But I wanted to see a bit more fighting, I guess. We had a quick Shinra scene. But I want to see how crazy they go with the powers.
And last thoughts, I guess, like the animation is the same as before, just really clean, really crispy.
Has it always been David Production?
Yeah, it's always been David Productions, but like since it's like newer, it's just everything's so crisp. Right?
I saw when the statue came up, I saw the JoJo stand
like
the
the
statue,
whole
and I was
details
like,
and stuff. And then one thing I also noticed is that when Shinra and Arthur are training and they're fighting, there's this shot of them like clashing, right? And it stops, and the camera zooms in, but like I noticed that like when it zooms into Shinra's face, it's not the same shot. Like as halfway as it's zooming in, that you can see the animation flips to a more detailed version of Shinra. I just thought it was weird. It was funny because I don't know. It's just something I caught, right? Because most anime would literally zoom in and that's it. They don't have to redraw everything. But for this scene, they literally redrew it. I don't know. It's just something random.
I think that makes sense. Well, maybe they just like updated the resolution. It's like
that's what it looked like. Yeah, like an updated resolution.
It's AI, baby.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, man.
Maybe.
I feel like most of these animes they're actually getting drawn in on that, but to enhance it, they use AI
in between. Which is what it should be used for, right? But it shouldn't be like taking your art style over very much.
Yeah, but with all that, that was the episode 1, season 3 of Fire Force. Good episode. Now, what you think about the lore of this is actually kind of creepy, but man. the creator of Soul Eater, like he does a good job with creepy stuff and like Soul Eater and now this. And it's crazy to think that like firefighters are gonna deal with fucking gods and stuff.
The end of the world apocalypse.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man.
Not just any firefighter. Human Torch firefighters.
Human Torch
Flame
firefighter.
on.
Yeah, man.
Very cool.
But for anything else, actually, for the next episodes, make sure to subscribe.
Hit that like.
Yeah, and comment.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Matane.
I gotta go put out this fire. Be back.